in their sexual peak at 30, but keep going.
That's actually not true. But
no, it is true. You can look it up.
Actually, not true. And let's make sure. So okay, let me. Because she's probably speaking from a feminine perspective that women are in their peak. Maybe they're like more sexual in their 30 or whatever. But for men, we find you the most attractive sexually between 18 and about 25.
Okay, that's what you find attractive.
Yes.
But our sexual peak, because we actually have explored our bodies for years, is in our 30s.
But that's irrelevant because that's like me saying, well, technically an 18-year-old boy is at his sexual peak because he's horny all the time. But who cares about an 18-year-old guy because he's useless to society?
Correct.
He's not sexually attracted to the opposite gender, so it's irrelevant. Same thing with a 30-year-old woman, no offense. Does that make sense? Like just because you're at your sexual peak doesn't mean that the other gender is going to be aroused by that.
Yeah.
Because just like a man who's 18 hasn't created his value at that point, and he's not attractive to a majority of women that are 18 or 19 or 21 that can get with a guy that's 35 that's created his value, a woman that's 30 has lost her value.
So at 35 years old, I have now lost all. So you're saying, just correct me if I'm wrong, that because I'm 35, I have lost all of my value, even though I am a successful woman that is making money and financially secure, and I'm happy.
No, that's fantastic.
But I've lost all of my value, so no woman is gonna. So no man is gonna marry me.
Let me be very clear about this because women tend to misconstrue this and take this personally. Your sexual market value and how men find you attractive versus your personal success are completely different. For men, it's not, because our sexual market value is dependent on our success and our status and our stature. Women's, however, is not dependent upon that. This is why a man that's a millionaire can easily date a 19-year-old that works as a bartender.
Also depends what social economic class you're dating.
Realistically speaking, men are open to dealing with women that are not on the same socioeconomic level as themselves. However, women don't do the same, typically.
Depends. It's very hard to date outside your socioeconomic class.
For women. For men, it's not, is my point.
I mean, unless they just want to take care of
Which is why when women, like, they get very offended when I say this, that when I say their sexual market value isn't high when they're in their 30s, and the truth is it's not as high as a girl that's 25, unfortunately, because men look for different things in the opposite gender. I mean, this is just biology. It is what it is.
Sure, that could be your opinion, but the people that I've dealt with,
it's a biological fact.
Okay, sure.
They've done studies on this. They polled men between 18 and 60 years old, and they found men found that women between 18 to 25 years old were universally the most attracted to them.
That I agree with. I also don't believe I look 35, but it's irrelevant.
I mean, again,
like I said, I asked you, so I'm 35 years old.
Yeah.
And I look young. Most people think I'm about 23 to 25, which I don't care what people think. I honestly don't.
Sure.
But you're literally saying because I'm 35 and men like the general statistics are 19 or 18 to 25.
That's typically when a woman is most attractive to the opposite gender. Yes.
I am now off the market and an old maid.
I didn't say that.
By statistics, you did.
I'm simply saying that you are not going to command the same dominance in a dating marketplace that you did 10 years ago when you were able to exert the force that you did on your ex-boyfriend, where he was pretty much cucked into a relationship where he was in a situation. I mean, you said it yourself. The relationship didn't get along because it's not in a man's natural inclination to be with a woman when she's with other men.
I closed it because I wasn't comfortable with the open relationship.
Even better. Proves my point that women don't like variety.
Yep.
Well, it's actually both of us, to be honest, but
Y'all
whatever.
skipped me, but I want to talk about this next, okay?
You're a virgin, right?
No, I want to talk about this next.
Okay.
I want to talk about this next,
well,
about the
sure.
variety.
I'll give it to you, but this is because women tend to look at it like I'm attacking their personal value. It's fantastic that you make money and you're successful. I'm not attacking you there. You probably make more money than a lot of guys, which is great. But I think women need to be cognizant of the fact that when you're successful and you make money and you're older, you're limiting your very pool of candidates that want you, because guys that make money typically want to date women that are younger and more attractive, and men typically date what they can. And if they make more money and have more status, they'll go that way.
That's fine, but we're also more equipped to be mothers and to raise healthy children and
not really. I mean,
provide for them. I mean, like
once you hit 30 years old, like most of your eggs are gone. By 35, it's a high-risk pregnancy. This is not my opinion. This is biological fact. Any doctor will tell you this.
We are in a little bit of a new age, so it's...
The new age?
Freezing eggs is not as...
I mean, is the DSM-5 still relevant? No.
What?
The DSM-5 is what classifies all psychological things. The DSM-5 was written over 20, 30 years ago, okay? The DSM-5 is what all therapists and psychiatrists use to diagnose you for an anxiety disorder, bipolar, schizophrenia, whatever it is. The DSM-5 is so outdated that it still does not have the things that have...
We mean bodies, ovaries.
Yeah, but we're
talking about... No, I'm not talking about that. Like, there's not... The narcissistic personality disorder is not in the DSM-5. Like, certain characteristics of people think, like, the... bipolar 1, 2, and 3. These things are not necessarily.
I mean, I understand.
DSM-5
okay,
is not. It's not updated. So.
That's understandable, but we're talking strictly from a, the ability to bring children, right, from birth in a healthy fashion. Any doctor that you go to, they're going to tell you it's a high-risk pregnancy at 35.
Of course, but how many women have children in their 30s and are totally fine?
Of course, that's always the I'm not saying it's not possible, but you significantly reduce your chances of bringing a child to term in a healthy fashion once you pass 30. I mean, this is a biological fact. This is not what I think. This is not my opinion. This is true and found, like, medical stuff. It is like any doctor, if you're in your 30s, they're going to tell you, hey, look, just so you know, this is considered a high-risk pregnancy.
Correct.
And then 35, even more so.
No, correct.
Could you imagine, right? I go to Whole Foods. I buy a crate of eggs, right? There's supposed to be 12 in there. There's only 6. Why would I buy it?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
so as
not,
a guy, that's a comparison right there.
It's not. You can't compare 2 eggs missing from a you can't. No, you said 2 were missing from the pack.
Out of 12, 6 were missing.
Oh, out of 12. Sorry, I thought you said 2 were missing.
Yeah, 6.
So
that's a lot.
But that's not.
It's actually more like 80% of the eggs are gone by 35.
Even more.
So then, how are all of these women in their 30s having successful children?
But you don't know how many failed attempts they had.
They've been trying.
You don't know how many babies passed away during the process. You don't know how many of them were born with mental ailments or maybe autism or some other defect.
Look, I'm not saying that it's easy.
You're just seeing the W's, but you didn't see all the L's.
No, I have seen the L's because I did. No,
I
had a friend that had a miscarriage that was 39 years old, and she went in for a sonogram, and there was no heartbeat, and that was terrible.
Devastating. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, but if she was 19.
Yep.
Not necessarily though, because a lot of it can be genetics.
Of course.
Yeah,
but
that just don't match.
But the probability would have went up significantly had she been 19 versus being 39.
Okay.
Come on,
also,
man.
once you have your first child, you're more fertile.
Okay, when you have your first child when you're younger, right? I mean,
well, no, it doesn't matter. Any age. If you have a child at 35 years old, you are more likely to get pregnant. That's just that.
So wouldn't it be more intelligent to have that child when you have the best chances of having that child when you're young?
But if you don't have money and means to take care of that child, it would be irresponsible to bring a child into the world.
Well, this is why I think men need to be breadwinners, and I think women need to be, back in the kitchen.
I agree with you, but the men don't want to make money anymore.